I'm saying that we can vote people in and out. Personalities, okay? But my dear, what we need to do in this country is to establish a situation where even if it was the devil who should come and sit on top of us in Ghana, by virtue of certain procedures, certain practices, the devil cannot get away with doing whatever he wants. He would necessarily have to do what the people expect of him.
Papa J.
Hello.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be 73?
Oh, you. Oh, yeah, they got it. I can't tell you.
How does it feel?
It feels good. Life would have been better.
How?
If I'd been taking my exercises a little more seriously.
Seriously. But you've had fun today, right?
Beg your pardon?
You've had fun today.
A bit. Not much, but a bit.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Thank you very
Live
much.
long.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for your book.
You'll see it.
Okay.
It's on the way.
All right.
When you walk among men, well, Jesus, you know, if you're looking below, it's worse now than then. Pushing and shoving and crowding my mind. So for my sake, Lord, teach me to take one day.
You better shut up when I'm talking, okay? Hello, listen.
Ghanaian leader, Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings.
All planters, do you have corn? I'm talking about planters, not diggers. Let me see you by the hand. Up. Good. Now, those of you who has the corn sacks, go and supply. But you've got corn in your left hand. Jesus Christ.
Nama TV bomb. Aleka ko manu TV bomb. Ni chode ba mother bomb. O yo ne obinim or whatever it is let them. O magic them. Mau ban kozam magic them the betonchi. The mahan no na radio G o yo na chun kasa or something chun kasa. Logo yo ne.
Hello, my name is Dr. Zanetta Ajiman Rawlings, and I'm the Member of Parliament for Klote Kole constituency. I also happen to be the first daughter of His Excellency Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings and Her Excellency Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings. I'm the first of 4 children. My siblings are Ya Santua, Amina, and Kimathi. And by God's grace, I also happen to have given my parents 3 grandchildren as their reward for not killing me, for being such a troublesome child. As children, we didn't grow up in the castle, so we had to see my dad sometimes on the weekends and maybe sometimes in the middle of the week. And this was because they wanted us to remain grounded and not feel detached from having a normal life. It also meant that we didn't see our dad every day, but we got used to it, and it just seemed normal anyway. I think my memories of him are a mixture of seeing him on TV, seeing him at various national events, and then of course we had the moments where we had family time, which was when we were a little bit older. And my dad has quite a wicked sense of humor. He just loved to pull pranks on people. And I suppose one of the other memories I had was when he first taught me how to fly. And interestingly enough, he's very, very precise and he's very exacting. So he would ask me to land in a specific spot. And if I couldn't, he'd make me fly around again and land again. And I remember on the day that he decided it was time for me to fly solo, as we came into land, as we were on finals, he said I should pretend like he had passed out in the plane and land the plane without him. And I was very offended by that at the time, I remember, because I thought it was bad luck to say things like that. But he ignored me. He just ignored me until I landed the plane. And as soon as we landed, he asked me to stop while we're still on the runway. And then he got out of the plane and told me to go. And I hesitated. And he said, "You're ready, so go." So I took off, and of course I was praying throughout as I was doing the circuit. And as I think I must have been probably on, I'm not sure which leg I was on anyway. And unfortunately, just as I'd taken off, my mother arrived on the scene and was asking, "Oh, Nazane wehi?" And my dad just pointed up to the sky without saying a word. Oh, my poor mother, she's been through so much. And but thank God, I landed safely and everything, and that was quite an interesting experience. My dad taught me a lot of things. Most of the things I learned taught me how to ride horses, because that was something he's always been very good at. I think he's a bit of an animal whisperer. In the village, he has managed to get his dogs to be friendly with the cats and the birds, the peacocks and the geese, all sorts of creatures, including rabbits, and they seem to get along just fine. And it's the most phenomenal thing to see, because it's not very normal for you to see a dog not attacking a bird. Hello, my name is Dr. Late President Rawlings. To see, because it's not very normal for you to see a dog not attacking a bird in the vicinity, and the animals just get along really well. And I think it speaks to his nature, which is, people only see a certain aspect of him, and when you actually see the way he's able to create a certain atmosphere of harmony around him, it's something that it's quite special, and it's special. I think one of the things that I have learned from him, that I'm passing on in terms of how I raise my kids, is his love for precision. And he just does not like the idea of seeing something going wrong and leaving it as it. He didn't sugarcoat his words, but he's always had a good sense of humor. And I certainly hope that I'm managing to impart some of the things that I learned to my children. And one of the things I remember whenever we would drive out of Accra with my dad, especially on the way back if it was late, was whenever he saw there were elderly ladies or, women who were on their own looking for transport to Accra, he always made sure we picked them up, whether in our vehicle or in addition with the escort vehicle as well. And it was an important thing to see, because he was never too big to help anybody, and he never looked at anybody as being below him or too small to be given his attention or to help. And these are some of the values that we picked up from him, teaching us to be grounded, to be compassionate, and to regard everybody as our equal and not to look down on other people. I remember that my dad also taught Yasanto and myself how to ride a bicycle. There was one morning when he was going back to the castle, and as he stepped out of the house, we went to see him off. He looked at the bicycle with the trainer wheels on either side, and he asked his guards to undo the wheels, and he was determined to teach us how to ride that morning. And so we got onto the bike, and he pushed the bike all the way to the front gate. And I remember, I think, did I almost fall or did I fall? And then on the second go, he pushed it and he said, "Just focus. I'm not going to let go. Just focus and just keep riding." And he did let go, but I kept my focus and I didn't fall off. And that was it. That was how he taught us how to ride a bicycle. My dad is just a hands-on, practical type of person, and we've had memorable moments in spite of the fact that most of that time was actually given to Ghana and not as much spent with us. But what we had was worth it. Daddy, I would like to, on behalf of
that we know about. One of the most popular ones that I used to know, somehow I don't even hear anymore. The one that goes, Zamana watiwa, Zamana watiwa, Zamana abelefu, Zamana. That's right. You see what I mean? And if the whole lot of us should pick on his Zamana, I know we would shake up a crowd.
The passing of a late former president has already taken a political twist.
We just called on the immediate family to offer our condolences, from where we were directed to sign a book of condolence which has been opened in his honor at the Accra International Conference Center. Strangely, as our flag bearer and his team reached there, we were told that the book has been taken away by government and the place has been locked up, and that the book will only be available on Monday. Then we asked ourselves, who is mourning with whom? Well, if they think that the state events takes precedence, it doesn't stop NDC from honoring our fallen hero.
General Secretary Johnson Esedun Ketia is also unhappy about content of a statement released by government on the passing of Flight Lieutenant Rawlings.
But we are disappointed that the president's statement did not make any mention of his role as the founder of the National Democratic Congress, as we have been doing. Anytime they lose a statesman from the other side, it was strange for us to read the statement of His Excellency the President offering condolences to the bereaved family and everybody concerned.
I don't think I could have won this thing. Take it off, let me try it and see. Come on. Yeah.
Waiting for the direct whistle to have this done.
Happy birthday to you. Now the other version. Baba, happy birthday, Baba, happy birthday, Baba, happy birthday, That's December, who's birthday? From December. In spite of all these, but she's getting too fair. And yet, I see, I am about it's in my main job. And she don't keep your moment in her. Let us have me, Papa.
Ladies and gentlemen around the world, welcome you once again to Elite TV. This is a live tribute to our ex-president, Jerry Joe Rawlings, and we are showing some of this, nice moments, sharing laughter, talking to people, interacting with the public, and you can see that he's a statesman. I mean, he is a man with good qualities, good leadership skills, somebody who loves his country. And you can also see, the other side of him, being funny, let me put it that way, sense of humor. He's got a great sense of humor. So today we are just honoring our ex-president, Jerry John Rawlings, on Late TV. So I've got two of my brothers here to help me to this program, trying to talk about his legacy and his impact on Ghana's, political system. There's no doubt that J.J. Rawlings has played a very crucial role in Ghana's political system. And now that he's gone, we are dedicating today's program in honor of him, in honor of J.J. Rawlings. So without wasting much time, I welcome my brothers onto the studio. Mr. Amos, how are you doing?
I'm very blessed, my brother.
Good. And Mr. Ayoma, how are you doing?
Yeah, thank you so much, Austin. I'm doing good. And how are you doing too?
Yes. Not too bad. We are all doing well. Still shocked by the news, but we are managing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so let me go straight to Honorable Nkansa. And you are in Ghana at the moment. So when did you hear about the death of our late president, and how did you feel? I mean, when you heard, about the news?
Good evening, Mr. Austin. Good evening to all your cherished viewers across the globe. Good evening to Mr. Ayoma. I trust we are all doing very good by God's grace. Thursday morning, around 11, and I just saw the message.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable. Yeah, thank you, Honorable.
I just saw the message. Oh, Rawlings. Then the next one was R.I.P. Rawlings. I said, what's happening? Is this one of those things? So I went online and started to check on facts. And then I heard our former president, General Rawlings, has passed. I mean, it was with a great shock because he had buried his mother 3 weeks ago. And so if someone who had buried the mother 3 weeks ago should pass on, I mean, death is inevitable. I mean, I've seen people that were buried the same day. There's a man in my area. The day the man died, they were going to bring the day they brought the body home. That very evening, his son also died. And so, in Africa, when people die, we attribute it to forces and all those things. But I can tell you for a fact that death is inevitable. But there's only one thing that I take consolation in. I've always been saying that it is not about how long you live on earth, but it is the impact you make on earth while you live. So I use Jesus Christ as an example. That Jesus Christ was 33 years old, but as of today, we are still mentioning his name because of his accomplishment. And the oldest man in the Bible, who nearly clocked 1,000 years, the only thing we can say about him is his age and the children he had. So I ask myself, all these years he lived on earth, what else did he accomplish? And so it is not about how long you live on earth, but it is your it is the quality of life you live. As we all know, Papa J, a very great man. I respect him a lot because the country was going into the abyss. It got to a point when everybody picked up a gun and overthrown somebody. But when Jerry John Rawlings took that last lap, to date, nobody has been able to do a coup d'etat. And then when his time was due to hand over power to a civilian rule, he did. And so I respect him so much because you look at the other African leaders around Africa, West, North, say Eastern Africa or whatsoever, the honorable thing that Jerry John Rawlings did, I think it is only Mandela who has beaten his record because he was in prison for all this while. He came out for just a term and they handed over to his people. And so I would say that Rawlings has paid his dues to the people of Ghana. And if I can boldly say that I'm contesting elections today, we give a lot of credit to Rawlings. Other people played a major role. I mean, like the Nanados and all those people who were saying that, yes, we need to end a military rule. And then Rawlings also, there were external pressure and all those things. But he's a good listener. If he should be able to say, yes, I accept that fact, I'll take off my military uniform and become a civilian, contest election, win for the first time and the second time, hand over power peacefully to an opposition party. I believe that he has exhibited statesmanship and he needs to be applauded for. I mean, this is something that everybody needs to talk about. And then I would say that Rawlings was a very down-to-earth fellow. As his daughter was saying, I had goosebumps all over my body. An ex-president who travels on the road to give lifts to people. I mean, it is not easy to see that. But sometimes I attribute it to the foreign blood, the Scottish blood. Because the typical African...
Honorable, hold your peace there. I will come back to you. I'll come back to you and we can talk about that. I mean, let's talk about this handling, I mean, the peaceful handling of, government to the national position. My big brother, Mr. Aisha, are you there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm here. I'm listening.
Just listening. That was what Kufuor said in his tribute to J.J. Rawlings. He admired him for peaceful, transition of government. When NDC lost the election, he smoothly handed over power to MPP. And you from MPP, I mean, I think you can attest to that it was something that, that needs to be recommended. That something that we need to talk about, or what you said, because that is what Kufuor said actually in his remark. He recommended Rawlings for handling power peacefully to him in 2007. Well, what do you want to say in relation to what ex-president Kufuor said?
Right. Thank you so much, Austin. And thanks to the listeners. My condolence goes to the bereaved family of former President Jerry Rawlings. Sometimes it is a little bit difficult to talk about Rawlings much, but today he became an icon to our country, and then all of a sudden he passed away. So some of us has to put our pride behind it and then wish the family or have a sympathy with the family for losing such a popular person of our country history. Coming to the handover of power to the MPP, which you said Kufuor recommended, or through his statement he recommended him. Yes, as a statesman like Kufuor, he will always do that. He will always say that. But looking at the things and the history and what some of us read and went through certain things, at that time he has no any other option but have to do that, because the country was into the point that Rawlings is not going to get any support across the world in any way if he didn't hand over or do anything that will make a transition being peaceful. Before we went to the party democracy. At that time, some of us were very young. And I quite remember the first time I met Rawlings was 1990 in BBNA Runabout. And that was the time Adubuahen and Co., including President John Nejokum Kufuor, former President, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, Dr. Kofi Kunadu Preku, Dr. Safodu, etc. Some highly represented people at that time wanted the country to change into party democracy. That was the first time I saw Rawlings going around campaigning for yes or no vote. You remember, anybody who knows this thing can testify. So I met him at the BBN Roundabout. He came there, that was the Western region, to campaign for everyone to go and vote for yes, meaning that the military rule is going to end. And that was his 11th year of ruling the country. And to be honest, at that time too, he has no option but rather to campaign for the yes vote, because the country too was fed up about this intimidation. People were murdered unnecessarily. Some of his military men were killing people just like that. And we have something called CDR, PDC, etc. They were ransacking the country, every little town. You get it? So
I think, sorry to jump into what you were saying. I don't want to cut you short. I will allow you to continue with your point. But as I said, today is just, we're making a tribute. So we don't want to go into the past that much and dig into what transpired all the way in the 90s.
Okay, right. I understand you. I understand
actually,
you, but
I know you are trying to make a point, but I want us to concentrate on the tribute for today and put all political issues or aside, and let's move for our ex-president.
Right, yeah, okay, I get you. I get you. Yeah. So yes, it was good that he changed his mind quickly for us to get into this area whereby we voted. He became the president in 1993, and then 97 he became the president again. And 2000, yeah, he handed over power peacefully. He was there. He is somebody who is very charismatic, to be honest. If you don't like him, you may not like him on the stage or the television or something, but if you meet him personally, he'll make you laugh. That was him. You understand? He'll make you laugh. He'll bring something in that you were not expecting that, and it will attract the whole people laughing. You understand? That was Rawlings. That was Rawlings. And his passing is really is shocking to some of us.
Yes.
The reason is simple. The reason is simple. We were fortunate to have about three living past presidents, which, if you look at them, Rawlings is a charismatic, Kufuor is a gentleman, and Mahama is, yes, he is joining the wagon. We know that these people are in the country that is practicing democracy that is going to go forward a long way. People can learn from them. So, to be honest, we've lost something. We've lost something. Anybody who is thinking differently should think, but me, we've lost one of our great people in the country.
Yeah, no doubt about what you just said. We've lost a statesman, and whether you are an NDC or an MPP supporter, there is one thing that remains. In fact, that remains that JJ has shaped the political system of Ghana, and his name will always remain in the books of the history books of Ghana. And today, as I said, normally we do political discussion on this channel at this time, but today we are dedicating this program to our ex-president, Jerry Rawlings, and this is a tribute to his legacy and the impact that he made, in Ghana and across the world. So if you are tuning in, you are watching Elite TV, and we are talking about JJ and his legacy and the impact that he made, in our country, Ghana, and in Africa. So you can share with your friends and family, or you can call the number on the screen. As you can see, the number on the screen, you can call it. You can also share or contribute. As I said, today is not a political discussion. So when you are calling, please, it's just a tribute. We're dedicating this program, as a tribute to ex-president Jerry Rawlings. And what I wanted to say is that, as I said, if you want to call, you can call on the number on the screen, but it's a tribute. It's not a political discussion. So just for you to be aware. Yes, there is no doubt that J.J. Rawlings is one of the charismatic leaders around the world, or particularly in Ghana. And he is somebody who transformed Ghana, from, I would say, from military rule to a democratic way, or democratic kind of democratic system. You see, and it was something that we have to recommend him about. Talk about and then be proud of. And since then, Ghana, across Africa, we have seen peace. Peace is something that everybody in Ghana knows, or everybody around the world knows, that Ghana, is something that we enjoy compared to some African countries. Like, for instance, when we go to Cote d'Ivoire, there is Honorable Nkansa. I don't know if you've heard about the current crisis that the president want to go for a third time. You see, and that is what JJ, that is something that I always say, that he did well. Not to stand again. He came to the point that, okay, yes, I've done my bit, so let somebody else come onto the show and continue. And he was able to leave office peacefully without actually protesting or doing anything, I mean, to grab onto power. Mr. Nkansa, do you agree to what I'm saying, or you have something to say? Because he would have said, no, I'm not leaving office. I will grab onto power. But he realized that, yeah, I've served my term. I've led the country for some time. It's now time for me to leave office for somebody else to come in and take over. What do you want to say to that?
My brother, as I said earlier, Rawlings is a pace setter, and the zeal, the kind of zeal he has in him, we can attest to the fact that he's one of the least educated president among all the presidents we've ever had. But he's our longest serving president. So I asked myself that someone who didn't have a professor, who wasn't a professor, didn't have a PhD, he didn't have, masters of whatsoever, was able to keep this country together. Shut all maps, people were saying that, oh, Rawlings was so wicked. He killed people. He did A, B, C, D. I said, hey, you had no idea. Probably if you were in his shoes, you would have done worse. You would have done worse. Because there were a lot of people who had a counter agenda. And for all that we are seeing today, all that we are experiencing today, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Ghana, through Rawlings, has been pace setters. Because you look at Togo, somebody handed over to his son, Mugabe. He said, I will never go. The Alpha Condos and all those people.
Till I die. Yeah.
Till I die, yes. Rawlings would have done same. The word that the man will say is that, oh, we are not supporting you. Gaddafi, he said, oh, before I die, before I leave, we have to spoil everything. Everything that I created must go down with me. I believe if Gaddafi has stood to the pressure of the people of Libya and stood down, by this time, his own people would have been begging him, we are sorry we did this to you. We are sorry, we are sorry, we are sorry. You see, we got to know the value of Rawlings. Today that we are eulogizing him, today that we are paying tribute to him, is because of what he did. If he had tarnished it a bit, we would have painted him black in the books of Ghana. But that act only. And then afterwards, he's become a statesman. He backlashes his own party, the party he funded. When the NPP and NDC are not doing things right, he's able to speak his mind to the truth. And I believe that we need to commend him for that. And his statesmanship, the support for people, his office has supported a lot of people. His love for sports. This Agbeko guy, all the time, all the fight, Rawlings goes to
the Bluetooth device
the
is connected successfully.
I mean, he's been a leader, and we should all commend him for that. And we should all emulate him. I can say that we should be decisive. Our sense of humor needs to be right. I have learned a lot from this man. And as I was saying earlier, I think that the little white blood attached to the black is what did the magic. Because you look at how our black people think today, and I feel so sorry. But I believe that growing up and then mentoring other people, we will get there. But Rawlings has really paid his dues. Wherever his name is mentioned in the world, his name is written in with golden pen in the books of Ghana.
All right, thank you, Honorable. I've got another brother to join us. Hello, sir. welcome to the studios of Elite TV. Can you hear me? Your microphone is off. Hello? Can you hear me, sir?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Welcome to the
can hear
show.
you now.
Welcome to the show.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you too, sir. You are
Okay.
live on Elite TV.
Oh,
The whole world is watching you. So, yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. And how are you doing
All right,
too?
okay. As you know, today is a tribute. We are doing a tribute section on behalf, for our ex-president Jerry John Rawlings. And so, anybody who want to join the studio can come onto the studio and then share, what he think about JJ's, legacy. And I believe you are from NDC. You are from NDC, am I right? And
Yes,
you are one of their communicators,
yeah,
correct? Did I get it right?
Yes, you did.
Good, good, good. So without wasting much time, what do you want to say about today? As I said, we are not going to the history, but we are just trying to talk about J.J. Rowling as a statesman here. So what do you want to say to our ex-president, and what do you want to say in relation to his legacy as somebody who actually, peacefully handed over power to an opposition government?
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and thank you for viewers and listeners. It's really I should say it came to a shock to all of us on Thursday to hear of the demise of our founder and former president of the Republic of Ghana. To be fair, there are a lot of things that one can say about him, because some of us growing up, we grew up knowing him as the founder of our party. And actually, let me put it this way. I was born in the 80s, so I sort of saw him as someone that everyone loved. Even although we know, as human as he was, we all have flaws, but I believe he did so much for Ghana, especially in the transition from military to civilian rule. And I believe if it wasn't for him, I'm not sure Ghana would be where it is now. Even during the military rule, you could see from history he was fighting for the rights for the ordinary Ghanaian. He was fighting for the rights for people to be heard. He was fighting for the rights for businesses to grow. He was fighting for the rights for, he was fighting for everyone. And so it was Christian Junior Jesus, which we all know. Going down memory lane, I believe Rawlings was sort of a person that, to be frank, sometimes you don't really understand him, but when he speaks and you sit back and you reminisce of all what he's done, you realize that he really did well for our country. From 1992, when the first elections were held for the Fourth Republic, I believe it's also sent as a good signal to the world. And Ghana, as we see it now, if it wasn't him, Ghana wouldn't be what we see it to be now. We in the NDC party believe he shaped most of us growing up. He shaped our minds, our thoughts on how to be patriotic, how to to have this kind of self-esteem, to die for a nation, and all. So I believe there's so much to say about him, to be fair. I believe personally, growing up, I grew up within the Ridge area in Osu, and
lucky you there.
Yeah, I
I grew up from a village, so lucky you.
Yeah, I remember growing up, schooling in his mother-in-law's school, Tiny Tots. If you know, Tiny Tots, Nana Kunidu's mom was an educationalist, and I schooled in Mrs. Ajiman's school. So growing up, I sort of like was very close to the family growing up, and the thought of me now was actually shaped during that time, because you get that feel of him anytime he even visits us when we're little in that school, and his kids were there. I think Kimati and is it Amina, one of them was there at that time, because we are in the same age region. So living also around that area, you could see the sense of he used to drive around the area, although he was president, he drive without motorcades or without, and he could get down from his vehicle, talk to anybody, try to help everybody. And it was really something that, to be fair, I have not seen before. Like even now, now you could see presidents coming in and coming out are more of every now and then surrounded by security guards, but he was distinct. He was unique in his own sense, and I think we've lost a really, 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 really like selfless leader. That, to be fair, no one thought this was going to happen, but God knows best, and we welcome and we just need to forge ahead with his legacy and try and do what we are supposed to do as individuals, and then grow his legacy, because he's made a mark for us, and he's made a mark for Ghana, and the world is celebrating him now, and I believe wherever he is now, he should be celebrated. And these are some of the few words. And actually I was called into the program just moments ago, so if I knew I was coming, I would have penned down some things that I would really like to pinpoint. But I think on the whole, Rawlings is a hero and he should be celebrated. And I think Monday even should be a public holiday for us, because it's really something that we need to celebrate him for what he stood for and what he means to all of us as Ghanaians. And it's a big loss that we've
I can see you a little bit emotional, but and that is really good. If you are tuning in, you are watching Elite TV live from the United Kingdom. The studios of Elite is located right in the United Kingdom. We are broadcasting live across the world, and people around the world are watching it live. So if you are tuning in, you are most welcome to Elite TV. You can share with your friends and family. Today, as I said, we normally, it's a political show that we normally do at this time. But today we are putting all politics aside and, dedicating this evening's program in honor of our ex-president, Jerry John Rawlings. This is a tribute program dedicated to our ex-president, Jerry John Rawlings. As I said, he is an icon. Whether you are a fan, an MPP, or an NDC, there is something that is about this man that you cannot deny, that he is an icon. And his presence, one thing that I like about him, is that his presence, when he is there, you know that he is there. Do you see what I'm saying? If somebody is, it's like when somebody is there, you can feel his presence. Even when he's talking, the explanation, the body language, you know that he's there. You can see the charismatic side of him playing a very crucial role in the way he talks and organizes himself. And this is something that I think every leader, has to possess. You have to be a charismatic, have this kind of charismatic, ability in order for you to lead a group of people or a country. So let me come back to my big brother, Mr. Isa. Yes, we are talking about Jerry Rawlings. We'll be bringing the program to an end very soon. As I said, what do you want to say to his family? You heard his daughter talking. So do you have anything that you want to say to his family? I mean, the whole world is listening to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Austin, and welcome our brother from another mother on the NDC side. Yeah, this is the first time meeting you or seeing you. Yeah, Rawlings is a statesman. He's our father. No matter how the situation went on during his time or he ruled, he's a very, very charismatic person. Like I said it earlier. If you hate him and you meet him one-on-one, he will let you laugh and you may forget about why you hate him. So, yes, we have lost a great man in the country. My condolence goes to the wife, Nana Ajuman Rawlings, the children. I believe they may be in pain for losing two important people within 1 month. You understand? But yes, it is being written, and there is nothing we can do about it. So they hold their brief, they hold their heart, cope with the situation, and take his legacy. I believe his legacy should get into them, especially the children, to work hard or fight ahead of how we can develop the country or what dad or our daddy was trying to do for our country, so that we can unite ourselves, take a common a sense or common idea to move the country forward for the next generation. And I believe before he passed on, he was very close to our current president. Anything that he's been called or he's been given a role to play, he does it excellently. I remember when we were bidding for the African Trade Distant Headquarters, we were bidding, and he was given a role. All the three former presidents were given a role to play, so that we can get that asset now that we want that headquarters to be built in Ghana. I remember that Rawlings was part of the role that has been played to let that thing happen, which is a very significant thing that he did. So, like I said, he's a very charismatic person. If he goes anywhere out of the country to go and talk about Ghana in a good way, absolutely things happen. So for me, he's a very, very loving person, no matter how you like it or not. And I wish the family all the best. Our president who has made it clear that we are going to give him a befitted burial as a statesman. And I believe the whole world will watch it and everyone will be happy that we've given him the respect to the highest level. Every Ghanaian should see to it that we give his burial a very highly respect. so that we can move the country, or it will give a lesson to the next generation that if a leader comes and serves the country, he deserves that kind of respect from us.
That's it. Thank you for a very good point that you've made. And I want to take this opportunity to say that it's really sad the way people are politicizing the death of Rawlings. And I heard people are saying he's an NDC member and he belongs to us. And now, let me use this opportunity to correct that. JJ was a president of Ghana, not NDC president. So he is, because to be honest with you, this is what I'm saying. This is not it's a political show, but we are not doing politics. But we just have to set a record straight. Yeah, this is, I will say, JJ is the founder of NDC. There is no doubt about that. But he's not an NDC president. You see the difference? He is a president, or he was a president of Ghana. He is, or he was a president of Ghana. You see, and so if this is a state issue, and I will actually use this opportunity to plead with the family members, people from NDC, and the people from the government. I'm talking about the reigning government, to work together to find, a befitting barrier for ex-president. I just don't like the idea he's NDC and we have the more right. No, he's not an NDC. He's an ex-president. So let's assume that an NDC man comes into power. Let's say that Mahama wins the election and an ex-president from MPP. No, it's also the president of the land has to take control, has to take, in charge and make sure that the past president is giving the kind of barrier that he deserves. Or Mr. Amos, do you agree? Do you agree with what I'm saying, or you can disagree anyway? Because if I'm a president, one day I will become an ex-president. We have an ex-president.
That's right.
So if, let's say, Mahama is the president at the moment, and we have ex-president from another country, it's the duty of the current president to ensure that the ex-president, get the befitting barrier of a president. Or what do you think? Your final words before we proceed. Yeah.
My brother, I thank you so much once again. Ghanaians are hypocrites. They normally politicize everything. If NDC does something that is good, in the eyes of the MPP, it's worse. When the MPP does something that is good, in the eyes of the NDC, it is worse. Rawlings has gone through the mill. And I always thank God for his life, because this is an ex-president whose priorities or protocols were taken away from. They say, hey, you're an ex-president. When you want to travel, you can't go through the VIP. He said, I am okay. If I want to travel, I can go my own way. You understand? And so in our Khan life, or in our African life, most of the time, death brings us together. Funerals bring us together. There was a tension. I would say that Rawlings has been the sacrificial lamb for 2020 election, because there was a lot of tension in the system. Now, NDCO, NPPO, PPPO, we've all halted our campaign and are mourning the former president. That whole pressure is gone down a bit.
What was the pressure?
And I'm praying to God that things will go down so that by December 7th, by hook or crook, whether we bury Rawlings or not, before December 7th, we will go and vote on December 7th. And so, all that we are asking God and all that Rawlings fought for, and we are praying that God should see us through elections peacefully. When PPP wins, Nanado should hand over peacefully to us. Whoever wins the election, we should all support that fellow to rule Ghana, to make Ghana a better place. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong.
God bless our homeland Ghana indeed. Our time is up. We'll be here. Thank you for tuning in. I thank my brothers for coming to the studios of Elite, joining me and discussing the legacy and the impact that our ex-president, left, for us, for the world, and for everybody.
Austin, you should have let us rebattle ourselves a little bit to make the program so exciting. You just want us to go away and then no, you don't do that.
But today,
you don't do
today,
I think I came in late when I think I was like 50 or 45 minutes late into the program.
Oh no, but that is your own business. As for that one, I will not accept it.
All right. As I said, our time is up, and today we decided not to go into a bit more political issues.
If you could give me 2 minutes to just give my final note.
Okay, that's
all right. I will give you 45 seconds. Sir. Our time is really good.
Thank you very much, and I think the death of our former president and founder of our party should not be downplayed. And I believe all statesmen who pass away in Ghana, whether a PPP president, a CPP president, an NDC president, or an NPP president, should be treated with the highest form of whatsoever that the laws of the land states. So I believe there should not be any politics in this, but we, the NDC, should be recognized that our founder is dead, and any plan that the ruling party is looking at putting together a befitting state burial, we should be involved in it. You understand? It will be very wrong if they do anything without involving us, because he's our founder. Because of him, we have the NDC party, and if any plan should be done, because there are so many issues popping up here and there, which I believe
that is
we all know
issues
about,
that are very want to go into it, but
because
you see that is why we don't want it, because I could have even said something about these things, but I'm not interested on that. Yeah, so don't go there. Don't go there at all.
Hello.
Don't go there at all, because some of us knows that.
Our time is up. Our time is up. Today is not for politics. We've just dedicated this program to our ex-president. But as I said, this is a state barrier. We are giving a state barrier. And when we say a state barrier, then we are giving a state barrier. That is a layman. I mean, I don't have to go to Oxford
no political
to understand
parties
what a state barrier is.
No political parties.
Nobody has to go to Oxford or the Oxford Dictionary to understand what a state barrier is. State barrier is simply state barrier. But he is the founder of NDC. There is no doubt about that. And so, as I said, the current government has to is in charge. There is no, because a state barrier, he is the head of state. And if we are giving a state barrier to somebody, he has to be in charge. However, he has to work with the party, because we all know that he is the founder of the party. He is the father of the party. And so, although you are giving him a state burial, you cannot work alone. You just have to work with the family, and with the political party as well. So there has to be some sort of working together, sit down on the table and discuss the way forward. And, you are in charge, although, all right, you are the head of state, so obviously you are in charge. However, you sit down with a family, because if JJ, was to be my father, I want to know how things are going. Or if I'm an NDC guy, I want to know. So for the sake of peace, he deserves to have this state barrier. But at the end of the day, as I said, they have to work with the family and the NDC camp, people from the political party, to ensure that he gets that state barrier that he deserves. We continue this program next week. I would encourage you to share with your friends and family. Elite TV will come your way 7 p.m. GMT. If you don't know GMT, as I always say, ask Uncle Google. He will tell you what GMT is all about, and you can join at 7 p.m. Next week will be a political discussion. So you have time to dialogue and intercede and do all the credits that you want. But today, we're just giving a tribute to our ex-president, Jerry John Rawlings. So thank you for watching, and thank you for coming to the studios of Elite. I will see you next week, and we'll have a meaningful discussion. God richly bless you, and have a nice weekend. Bye.
Have a good night.
You better shut up when I'm talking, okay? Hello, listen.
Ghanaian leader, Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings.
All planters, do you have corn? I'm talking about planters, not diggers. Let me see you by the hand. Up. Good. Now, those of you who have the corn sacks, go and supply. But you've got corn in your left hand. Jesus Christ.